don't know if y'all can see him or not, but here's my trusty dog. There he is. He's already on the back of the truck, getting ready to go. Alright, here's my truck packed up. Brand new 18-inch coil came in the mail yesterday. Morning, guys. So we're on the way up 15 north to Culpeper. Just came through Orange, and I see a lot of crops harvested up this way, so that's good. I talked to the farmer last night, and the corn is cut off the field I want to be in. So I'm gonna head up there and dig some relics. I've got my trusty dog with me. I don't know if y'all can see him back there or not. There he is, old Jager. And I will get back with you in a few minutes. Folks, I don't know if you can see this, but I am really happy, because what I expected was going to be in corn is beans. And for those of you that know, hunting in cut beans is like hunting a golf course versus hunting in corn stalks. Corn stalks can be done, but hunting in beans is like, oh yeah. So I am so happy to see that, and we're going to get down to business. All right, so we just got here, and this field is just beautiful. Looks awesome. I just can't wait to get started. Here we go. Got our prayer going. First thing, we're going to honor God in everything we do today, and we are going to find us a good pit and get in it today. Back in a flash. One of the things I wanted to do today was get some iron signals on video for y'all. I think there's two different targets here. If you listen over here, let me turn the volume up so y'all can hear. Hopefully y'all can hear that. Hang on. So over here, you hear that low tone? Sounds like a sigh, you know, somebody sighing. But then there's a high tone over here. I'm almost thinking those are two separate tones. I can't tell. I don't know. I'm gonna dig this out and get back with you. All right, so now what I'm hearing in my mind when I hear that, I hear high, low, high. I don't know. I just don't think this is a good signal. Dig some more out. Got some more dirt out. I think I moved it. All right, got some more dirt out. We're down about 10 inches. It's getting pretty loud in the bottom. Pretty sure that's the target, whatever it is. Well, it's not too far off the center. This might be something good. A lot of times when it's iron, it's off center. There's a rock. Tell you something I want to try in here eventually is probing with a steel probe. I bought one from John Kendrick, but the thing accidentally made its way to West Virginia, which was my fault for leaving it in Doc Rodney's truck at the last DIV. Doc Rodney will appreciate this if you're watching. Seems like every year I leave something in his truck. It's kind of off to the side, sounding out pretty good. I think I see a little bit of rust. Yeah, it's rust. Okay, it's a nail. Pretty good size one too. In fact, I'm not sure that's a nail. Maybe it's some kind of bolt. All right, I'm gonna dig it out. There's the culprit. I can't necessarily explain why it was given the tone it was, but one thing I will say for you new guys, when you get a tone like that that was given a double tone, it's just that part of it was high and part of it was low, like it was high then low. So I'm not sure why it did that, but even though it wasn't breaking, I mean, it was down about a foot almost. So anything past 10-12 inches is gonna, sometimes ain't gonna break no ways. Sometimes you just gotta dig those. Came across a signal I wouldn't normally dig, but I want y'all to hear it. It sounds different from different directions. Listen to this. Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? Jager, get back, go on. That way sounds good. But listen to this. Turn sideways, watch. Wow, wow, wow. Clears up. Back to sounding crazy. So I wouldn't normally dig that because I think that sounds crappy. I'm not even going by whether it's breaking or not, but to me, the way just the way the signal double taps going this way sounds crappy. I'm gonna dig it up so we all know what it is. All right, let's see what we got. That was really shallow. That'd be funny if this turned out to be something good. I don't think it will though. That's what I thought. Okay, that's a small nail. It's a little bit bent. It does not really have a head, but it's the way that it's curved like that. I think that's what produced that double beep. Jager, down. Ready? All right, I got a low tone here. There's a high tone nearby that caught my attention, and there was there was a low tone next to it, still in the bottom of the hole. Sounds pretty good. I think one of the reasons this tone was left is because there is another tone nearby, and it could sound bad if you didn't slow down and listen. Shoot, I probably see, that's the thing too. The more you learn about these machines, you know, you can go back to places you've already dug, even with that machine, and still dig relics. I'm telling you, there's places that myself and Ron Rigney and Mike Campbell and Doc Rodney, some of those guys, we're going back to places that we've beat to crap and still finding a lot of relics. What's up, buddy? It is iron, whatever it, well, wait a minute. It would appear to be iron. Hold on. It is iron. I don't feel too bad for digging that. That's a piece of probably a cooking pot, or maybe a farm implement. big solid thick piece of iron like that, sometimes that's just going to sound good anyway. But you notice one thing, that thing pinpointed way off to the side. It sounded like it was right in the middle. It wasn't, it was 6-8 inches over. Alright guys, right there, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but there's like a depression there. I think that's where I dug out the pit maybe about a year ago, where I got the horse bit. It was in this area. I don't know if that's it or not, but I'm about 10 feet away from there. I dug a crap signal here that turned out to be a flat piece of iron. It sounded like a button, but it wasn't. And there's a signal right here that is just too good to be true. I'm really surprised it's still there. Listen to this. Now, some of y'all are probably thinking, well, Tony, that don't sound good at all. But that's because, in my opinion, the machine is trying to decide whether or not this is a low or high conductor, and so it's mixing tones. It's what Don and Earl used to call the turkey gobble tone, because it kind of does sound like a turkey gobble. But listen to it again. That is clean. If I had to guess, I'd say that's a coat button at about 10 inches. Who knows what it is? Probably something completely different. But I think that's a good target. We're going to dig. Got about 6 inches of dirt out. We're going to listen to it. Kind of breaking over here now. Sounds off to the side. Let's listen to the pile. Oh, wait a minute. All right, y'all see that? There's two separate targets. There was one shallow one. That's a high tone, which I already pulled out in the dirt right here. Sounds pretty decent. Then over here, kind of a loud, low tone that is breaking pretty decent. I think that's iron. This I think is good though. Come on. Camp lead. Let's see what that other one is. Got a little more dirt out and I checked it. It is still in the hole. Well, that's kind of deep. Let's see. This thing says it's 8, so it's 9 inches tall. And it's only about 9 inches deep, but that's worth checking out. We're gonna at least see what it is. Hopefully there's a pit under there. All right, I found it. I don't know what it is yet. It is looks like a farm implement. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna investigate the hole, make sure there's no color in the bottom. It'd be nice if there was. All right, well, that was not a pit. The ground, or the dirt in the bottom of that hole, was kind of soft and kind of grainy. It wasn't hard clay. That's what made me wonder. So, but I think what it is that since it's kind of in the swale of the hill right here in the bottom, I think this bottom dirt is probably a little more loose, deeper than it would be up on the sides of the hill over here. All right, I got signal that's about 25 feet away from where that other pit used to be, the one that I said was dug out over there. I got it's a nice low tone. Listen. That's real quiet on this machine with this 18-inch coil. I'm thinking that's a bullet at about 14 inches. But we're gonna dig it up and be back with you. All right, I got a bunch more dirt out. The bottom of the hole just measured as 16 inches. I'm guessing that the whatever it is, probably a bullet, is already out. So let's listen. It is out, but that's blinking so much that might be iron. And there it is. It is a round piece of iron. I don't know what that is. I'm I'm gonna double check the bottom of the hole and just make sure it's not a pit. We'll go on. All right, I just got a high tone out. I have no idea what it is. I did find a piece of camp lead right there, so I'm thinking this is probably what this is. Come on, where is it? Oh, it's not. It is a grommet. Oh, that's all right, cool find. Okay, I'm still in this area where I was earlier. Right over there is where the, you could tell there was an old pit that was dug out. Here's my dog asking me to throw his ball again. Jager, bring it. Drop it. If you don't drop it, I can't throw it. All right? Drop the ball right here. Drop it. You don't want to let go. Okay. So anyway, I dug there. Came around, dug a eagle button right there. I did not get that on camera. Happened pretty quick. Some camp lead. There was an iron hook, I think, right over there. So iron hook, eagle button, camp lead, grommet, button back. And then I got what I wasn't even sure was a signal. And I'll see, hopefully you can hear this. I don't know, listen. There, you can hear just a tad right there. Just a tad, that's what I heard from the surface, if that loud. Scraped away the beans, couldn't hear it much better. I decided to take 4 inches off just to check, and I heard this. Pretty clear, right? Now listen to this. I got more dirt out now, probably 10 or 12 inches down. Listen. It sounds to me to be right in the center of the hole and well below where I've dug out. So hopefully this is a pit. We'll see. All right, the moment of truth. I've got a bunch of dirt out. I'd say we're down 18 inches. I'm hoping it's in the bottom of the hole. Let's see. It is not. It's out, whatever it is, and it sounds good. Probably a bullet. There it is, it's a bullet. Good Lord, that thing was in there. Happy to dig that. Don't get me wrong, but man, that would have been sweet if that was a pit. Very cool. Just got a high tone out of the hole. Where'd it go? Come on. There it is. Should be camp lead. I don't mind digging camp lead to some degree because it could just as easily have been a button. Got a high tone out. Come on. Sounds real nice out of the ground. If I can ever find it. Come on. There it is. It's a roller buckle. I'm not sure why that was given a high tone, but it did. Cool. It's either a roller buckle, that might be part of a manure spreader too. Alright, just got another high tone out of the ground. And I can see it already. It's camp lead. Pretty high up in the camp. And I've never dug many pits up here, so maybe one or two. Be nice to get into one right here. Okay guys, this is the signal I've been waiting for to show some of y'all what a nail sounds like, at least in my mind. Listen to this double tap signal, listen. Let me turn that up. Turn these headphones so y'all can hear better. So here, do 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 do. Now if I turn sideways, in my opinion, I think this nail is sitting this way. I think I'm hearing the head, then the body of the nail, or maybe the other way around. Listen to this though. Sounds pretty decent that way, doesn't it? It doesn't sound nice and long like a bullet would, but it is a singular signal. Listen. But as soon as I turn sideways, do. That's a nail. Don't dig those. You'll save yourself a lot of time. Alright guys, right underneath that dirt pile I dug up a big old piece of iron, and now that that's moved I can hear a screwed up weird sounding signal that I think is going to be something good. Listen to this. Earlier we talked about the turkey gobble signal. I think this is kind of like that. It's breaking a little bit, but I don't know. It mostly sounds clean, so let's see what it is. Alright, now I got some more dirt out of the hole. I don't know, that may be iron. It is. It's a piece of a barrel band, I think. That's okay. Right up there's where I was digging. And I feel like I'm about outside the camp, but I got a signal here that sounded deep and nice. And it's out now. Here you can hear it. Making all kinds of wild noises since it's so close to the coil. It's carved, I think, bullet. Yeah, that is cool. It's either carved or melted. I think it's carved. Good deal. Sometimes you'll notice when you get stuff out of the ground and you're passing the coil right on top of the target. Once it's out, it makes all kinds of squirrely noises. In fact, sometimes what was a low tone will turn high and vice versa. I've had some buttons that come out of the ground. They were giving me a high tone in the hole, and then they gave me a solid, sharp low tone when I had the coil right on top of them when they're out of the hole. So if you hear that, don't be surprised. All right, got a high tone in the hole. I'm getting ready to get out right now. I've already pinpointed it. Ooh. A pull tab, really? Right in the middle of a mixed Union and Confederate winter camp. Wow. Alright, had me some lunch, and now I'm not too far from the truck. Got a high tone here out of the ground. I just dug an eagle button right, I guess it was right there. And here's a high tone out of the ground. Listen. That sounds great, don't it? It is brass, and it is... Ooh, I cut it. Oh, crap. Whatever it is, I hit it. Let me pause and clean it up. Got cleaned up a little bit. I don't know what that is, but man, I sure enough hit it. Hope it wasn't anything too special. Alright guys, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like in a little brass hot spot right here. I've gotten eagle button right there. Let's see, eagle button, some other kind of folded brass piece. I got a belt adjuster. And I've got a signal right here that if this ain't brass, I'll eat my hat. Listen. And you know, from the surface that sounded so quiet. It was just real quiet. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm eating my hat. It's melted lead. Still cool. All right, back in flash. All right, I just dug a piece of camp lead right there. And now I've got another high tone that's out of the ground right here. Ooh, that's a button. That's an eagle eye. I don't know why this camera always focuses on the background. You ever notice that? A lot of YouTube videos you watch and they're trying to zoom in on something like this and it's focusing on the background. But I got it now. See that? Nice little eagle eye. Very happy with that. Thank you, Lord. Okay, I got to thinking about it, and the last time I remember hunting in this area, I remember there was a lot of high tones that turned out to be camp lead, and if I remember right, I kind of walked away from that area because of the camp lead. Also, back then, I'm not sure that I would have been using the 18-inch coil, so I'm attributing some of today's success on the 18-inch coil. I've got yet another high tone out of the ground. I had the camp lead there, eagle eye, that turned out to be a kepi, eagle eye kepi right there. Got another nice tone out of the hole here. Listen. Hear how sharp that tone is? That is just so nice. And you know, sometimes it's these tiny little tones that you barely hear that wind up being the best thing you find. If I can get to it. Let's see if we can find it again. It's a button back. Or well, that might be a face, but I think, yeah, it's a back. Doggone it. Hey, could have been. Look at that, isn't that neat? I love this hobby. That's good stuff. Alright guys, I don't usually do like selfie stuff like this on video, but this is pretty important. I haven't moved. I don't know if y'all can see, I've got a dig hole there, there. I think there's 3 right there, 1 there. This last one, this is yet another high tone that I just popped out. The point is this property has been pounded to death by a lot of people, and me being one of them. And it just goes to show what that machine right there will do. The GPX is phenomenal, and if you've got a site that, especially if it's a winter camp, and especially if the place has been plowed a lot, you need to get a GPX. I don't care if it's hot ground or sweet ground, it doesn't matter. Get yourself a GPX, especially if it's a winter camp, and especially if it's big farm fields that have been plowed and turned over the last 150 years. But anyway, I wanted to get this this signal on camera. This is another high tone, another one. It might just be camp lead, but it's not. It's a knapsack hook. Look at that. Golly. I love those things. That is cool, man. That was about, I don't know, 10 inches, maybe a foot. It was down there pretty decent, but it wasn't real loud. It was kind of quiet. So get yourself a GPX, dig them deep signals, go get it. Well, surprise, surprise, folks, is another high tone out of the ground. Listen to this. I think that's gonna be brass. Aluminum, I think. I'm not too quick to throw aluminum away because when it's been up like that, because sometimes that could be some sort of a silver insignia or something, and then you just about threw away, you know, like a Corps badge or something like that. There was a guy at DIV, supposedly. I'm gonna walk back to the truck and get a Mountain Dew while I talk. But there was a guy at DIV that, I don't know who it was. We were hunting Brandy Rock, and he dug what he thought was a piece of junk. It looked like aluminum, I guess, and it was a 6 Corps badge. And so he's talking to somebody, and they showed him, yeah, look at my 6 Corps badge, and he looked at it and about turned white because he had thrown it into the trash can of the motel room the night before, the one that he dug. So he jumps in the truck, runs back to the motel, and I think he called on the way, said, hey, don't empty the trash out of our room. And he got there in time, sure enough, and he found it, and he had a Corps badge in the trash can. But here's what I got so far today, plus what's in my pouch right now. So, and here's what I'm after. All right, people, this may sound kind of silly. Hold on, I think the lens, I had to clean the lens. This may sound kind of weird. I don't know if it's for me praying, or, I mean, I know God blesses me when I go out. That's a big deal. I don't know if it's that or time of day or what, but there is just target after target. I remember distinctly going up and down this particular fence line about 2 years ago with an 18-inch coil and digging bullet after bullet after bullet. So there shouldn't be anything left in here. But I just dug a bullet right there about a foot. And there's another signal here. I want you to listen to it, then I'm going to tell you something. That just sounds pretty good. There's no reason that signal should still be here. That should have been dug long time ago. But what I was going to say is this. Or maybe I should ask it as a question. Have any of y'all ever noticed that in the afternoon, particularly late afternoon around 3, 4 o'clock, that all of a sudden something clicks and your digging just picks up like crazy? And I don't mean like the number of holes you dig, I mean like good stuff coming out of the ground. I've had that happen over and over and over. I don't know if it's something in my head that finally clicks, or if it's a change in the sun angle that affects, I have no idea what it is, but I've seen it over and over and over to know that there's something to it. And it's about 2:30 or 3 o'clock right now, and it feels like somebody just turned a switch on. And I've been doing a lot of praying, so I expect that to certainly have a big effect. But I think this is going to be another bullet. Here, let me check that signal again. I'm going to make that my center and dig it out. All right, I got about 8 or 10 inches of dirt out. Let's take a listen. Now, one thing I do to pinpoint, and I think it was Bo we met. Bo, I hope I'm saying your last name right. I think I saw him do this in one of his videos. That's probably where I got the idea. But I take the coil, and since that's a double D coil, it's basically sending out a very, more or less a thin signal out of the center of the coil going straight down in the ground like that. So I use that to pinpoint by doing this. Pretty much in the center of the hole that way. Maybe a little off to that side going that way. Let me get some more dirt out. All right, I got some more dirt out. We're down to about 12 or 14 inches. I'm going to check the hole first. Ha! That'd be nice if that was a plate or something down there. Let me clean that dirt out of the bottom. Well, I started to clean the dirt out of the bottom, and there it is. Free ringer. Very cool, pretty deep. Back in a flash. All right, here's another 4 o'clock frenzy out of the hole. I think it's in this clod right here. It sounded pretty shallow, whatever it is. Camp lead. There is no reason that signal should have been there. That was easy signal. All right, this is pretty cool. I'm down probably 11 inches. Maybe 10 to right there. Pretty easy signal from the surface. It wasn't hard. Whoa. Big old blob of lead. Man, there's got to be a pit right here. All right, I'm gonna check the bottom of this, see if it goes down. Back and flash. All right, classic, nice, deep, low tone. It's a single tone. It comes in slow and lets go slow. It's relatively smooth. This particular one does chatter a little bit as far as like the breaking. So it breaks just a little bit. But overall it sounds really nice. I think you'll know what I mean. Listen. So it breaks, it's like a little bit there. That's not the first side that I heard. This is what I heard first. Listen. I tell you what, if you hear that, you need to be digging it. That's nice. For some reason, crossways, it breaks just a little. I don't know why that is, but I'm gonna dig it up and see what we got. All right, I got about 4 or 5 inches of dirt out. Here we go. That's throwing some wild signals in there. I think this is going to be a piece of camp lead or something at about 8 or 10 inches. Let's dig some more out. Well, I found the culprit. It's a fired pistol bullet. Can't tell what kind. And it was about 8 or 10 inches deep. So, pretty cool find. Back in a flash. All right, I got a high tone out of the hole. It's pretty deep. It's kind of blinking now. Maybe that's because the coil's so close. I'm not sure. It is melted lead again. Pretty cool. Almost like a design on it. Okay. I was praying really hard for a pit to open up, and the very next signal as I was praying was a bunch of big barrel bands. Here's one of them. Big old barrel band. This has been dug partially before. I don't think it's been dug all the way out. And one of the things that makes me say that is some of the dirt's soft, some of it's not. And then also about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, there was a hole over here that I got into with about a dozen bullets and I think a tampion. I remember it was the first tampion I'd ever dug. And I didn't know much what I was doing with pits back then. And I'm pretty sure that I left it mostly undug. I think it was a hut, and I think I left it mostly undug. So I'm thinking that this is that hut, maybe. It would kind of make sense because if I wasn't sure that I'd finished it, I would have left the barrel band sitting up top where I could hear them again later. So we're gonna at least open this up, see what's going on, see if it has been dug out completely or not, and hopefully make a decision on finishing it, or see what happens within the next 20 minutes. Say hello to my dog. He wants me to throw a dirt clod for him. Here. Jager, sit down. While we're talking about pits and huts, one of the things that's probably the most difficult to do, and pretty time consuming, and certainly energy consuming, and that is to make it bigger, to make it big enough like you should. When I first got started, It was about 20 inches around, and I'm purposefully opening it up to about 36 to 40 inches around at the very beginning, just to, it gives you a better idea of what you're seeing when you get down there. If you try to go down through a small hole down into a big open, into a hut, it's just a bad idea. You want to open that bad boy up and get the top off so that you can see what's going on. That's my opinion. So now I got a lot of dirt to move, but it should be worth it. Okay, I'm taking a small break from shoveling because I'm moving a ton of dirt out here. About 20-22 inches down, maybe more, and you can see flecks of ash all in this stuff. Another reason that makes me think this has not been dug, or excuse me, this has only been partially been dug, because this center portion here was real soft. I mean, you could tell about where they had dug the previous hole. I'm not convinced it was me. It might have been somebody else that started it and didn't finish. But over here in the side, this dirt's harder and it's got color. Hold on, let me find a spot here. Here, there, right there's color. There's some ash. There's a lot of ash right there. Actually, that's metal. That's a ration can. But I'm going to go on the assumption that it has not been dug. I don't think it has. I'm going to go for it. Catch my wind. Dog's waiting for me to throw another stick. Aren't you, buddy? Huh? Aren't you? You're a good boy. Yeah. Here, you want to... Jager, down. Down! Ready? Back in flash. Alright guys, quick update. Continuing to go down, and I've got more evidence that this has not been completely dug out. Look at that little porcelain button right there. Isn't that really cool? I love those little buttons. Isn't that neat? That is super cool. Alright, we're going to keep going. We've got lots of ash and some bone and this and that coming out. There was a couple signals I could hear with the metal detector, but I never worry about that too much, because usually you can't get the detector to push way down in the corners like you need to really get depth. I've had some times where I had checked it with the metal detector and then was digging down in a corner and out came a brass butt plate to a rifle. So you can never really go by what you're hearing with the metal detector. Well, I got two really nice little ceramic buttons out of that hut, but it was previously dug. At least for the most part. There might have been a couple corners that the other person missed, and that other person may have been me, because there was a hut I dug in here one time with a green bourbon, and it was broken bourbon, and there was bourbon shards in there. So I don't know, it may or may not have been mine. But all right guys, right there is where the pit was. I've dug a bunch of holes in here, bullets, button, camp lid, and I think this is gonna be my last signal of the day. My wife's at home cooking, and I told her I'd be home around 8, so I'm gonna leave here in a few minutes. There's a good target in here somewhere. Somewhere. There it is. It looks like that's melted pewter. That's the second one of those I got today. I don't know what those are. Cool. Anyway, good deal.